Welcome to the South Carolina Agribiz and Farm Expo. I'm Donna London, and we are here in Florence, South Carolina at the Florence Civic Center, and there is a lot of excitement here. We've got with us this morning, we've got Commissioner Hugh Weathers, and he is with the South Carolina Department of Agriculture. I think most of you know Mr. Weathers, and then we've also got Jody Martin, and he is the co-founder and chair of the South Carolina Agribiz and Farm Expo. I want to welcome you both, gentlemen. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Donna.
Now, Jody, let me start with you. This is the second annual Agribiz Expo, Agribiz and Farm Expo.
Exactly right.
And in terms of the size and the excitement, I had no idea there would be this much going on.
Well, we had a great inaugural kickoff for the event, and there's been quite a bit of expansion working with all of our partners and a lot of excitement within the agribusiness industry. So we've got some good growth and expecting a great crowd.
Wonderful. And I want to talk with you a little bit in just a minute about some of the things that are going on today, because there's still time to come to the expo.
Absolutely.
It's open to the public. Right, right. Commissioner, you have a major job as the Commissioner of Agriculture, and I came into this being somewhat simplistic, thinking that it was going to be a cute little tractor and a farmer and the fields, but that supply chain of agriculture is major.
But there are a couple of cute little tractors here now, so let's don't get away from that. And that's the point. I think the theme of being rooted in tradition and thinking about innovation really captures agriculture in South Carolina. But as you just pointed out, the chain that is agriculture, the production, the processing, the distribution of the food we eat, of the fiber that's in our clothes, of the roofs over our heads, it is South Carolina's largest industry. And all of the things that go into it is what this expo is all about, talking about where we are now, what services are there to help our farmers do better, but where are the new opportunities in agriculture.
And from the Department of Agriculture's perspective, what are the primary topics that you'll be looking at over the next year, and how does that play into some of the discussions that are going on here?
Well, in the expo, there are education sessions on agribusiness, the business of farming. There are sessions on sustainable farming, input management, technologies that are out there, how to use these technologies, decide if they are a good investment for your farm. Agritourism is another area where just sort of on the peripheral of agriculture, that's a whole new area that we're going to put emphasis on in the next year. So, yeah, to say you were expecting a simple little show, that the industry is not simple, and neither is this show.
And the impact is tremendous.
Well, we measured it several years ago at a $34 billion that flows through South Carolina's economy, which is about $160 billion. So do the math that over 20% of South Carolina's economy has something to do with agriculture and forestry.
Exciting, exciting. And it's exciting to see all of these people here coming from not only the banking sector and the insurance sector, but also technology, from education. It is tremendous. And Jody, I would like you to expand on that some, if you wouldn't mind, about some of the things that are happening over the course of the next couple of days.
Well, first of all, it's very difficult, as Commissioner has shared with you, to try to put ag in a two-day event.
It is.
So we've spotlighted some things. We've got a team of folks, and Clemson's been very instrumental in helping with the educational piece of that. The Commissioner and his staff and Department of Ag doing so many different things that they do so well on marketing and promoting different aspects of it. Working with the commodity groups to have a great event tonight, which is going to be the Taste of South Carolina. And we're going to spotlight all of the different ag commodities and the groups that help promote those, and they're going to be prepared here. We're inviting some folks in for that, and other folks, still some tickets available for that event. But the trade show is one thing. From 9 o'clock, open this morning at 9, goes till 5 today. There's over 120 different exhibitors, and it's spread out inside and outside. very impressive with all the equipment, and it would be amazing if you put a dollar figure on everything that's here. But there's a lot to see, everything from antique tractors to agricultural drones. And there's a lot of things that's happening within the industry of ag that's very exciting there. So Commissioner will host a breakfast in the morning as a fundraiser for the South Carolina Commissioner School of Agriculture. And that's almost sold out, Commissioner. If anybody wants a ticket for that, they better go ahead and get it quick.
Might be some ticket scalping going on.
There could be, and just help raise
like
more
the football
money.
games.
Yeah. So great things.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, we theoretically.
But that reminds me, the South Carolina school that comes out of the Department of Agriculture.
Well,
it
is a great partnership with the College of Agriculture at Clemson and the Department of Agriculture, going into its 10th year. And what it does is takes high school juniors and seniors who may or may not come from a farm family background and exposes them to a potential career in agribusiness, either in production, some technology field, marketing, packaging, and it takes them to Clemson on campus for a pretty intense week of exposure to those, and then seeing if there's an academic route that they might want to choose in order to be some of the next leaders of our agribusiness industry in South Carolina.
And that's such an important.
And a great number of those do go on to Clemson, and their acceptance rate as a student there is higher than average. So we think it helps prepare them for the application process.
Smart. That's a really good program, I understand. Now, I know that there is a lot of training going on here over the next couple of days. And you're, if I understand correctly, are...
We hope they're trained on grain bin rescue. I'm going to...
You're a brave man.
Yeah, we're going to do a mock grain bin accident, and I am the accidentee, I guess, of the victim. I don't know what the betting lines are as to whether they're successful. I'm hoping they're well trained. But the whole point is, because I know personally of several families who suffered tragedies through grain bin accidents. So this is important training, and I'm just glad to be a part of that.
Well, I was very happy to hear that was going to be at this expo, because while I'm not from the agricultural field, I do know people that have lost lives in grain bin accidents. So I wish you well. and given...
Let's hope I'm at the breakfast tomorrow.
I'm sure you will
Jody,
be.
you'll have to come up with the talk.
It's interesting because Dan Neenan's come all the way from Iowa to do that training. And he was telling me how many times they've been through it, and it's quite a few. So they've had a lot of practice. So it should be very really good track record. They hadn't lost anybody yet, from what I understand.
Good to know.
But what's real neat about that, because of that, we've been able to invite in EMS and the fire safety folks from out the entire state of South Carolina and North Carolina, and we can have anywhere from 75 plus folks tomorrow in a training just with those guys. Right. In addition to all the other ag things that are happening here, because they want to show them how to do the rescues. And today he's going to do a training talking to farmers on how to be safe, so they don't have to call the EMS or the fire safety folks.
Well, it is. I mean, we can joke about things, but it is so important.
Absolutely.
And I think it's wonderful that you're
it does serve a very, very good purpose.
Well, and the whole expo also serves a purpose that I was not familiar with before. What were you going to say, Jody? I'm sorry.
And the commissioner's going to kind of kick things off here in a few minutes from the podium, and going to have the opportunity, you're going to be recording, I think.
Right.
Chip Blaylock is coming in as the executive director of the Sun Belt Expo. He's kind of our keynote speaker to talk about innovations and collaborations. We had dinner together last night, excited about what he's going to share with the audience on that. It's going to be a great
He goes back to the mule and the plow, which is pretty amazing.
Exactly.
But also to something that we'll hear about later, to the drones.
Yes.
So life is changing.
Great talk. So we just welcome folks to come out. There's so much to see. Appreciate you guys being here with the webcast, but you need to see it, touch it, feel it, and taste it.
Right.
And come see all the different things that are here. It's a great show.
And if you ever need a contact, that has anything to do with agriculture, this is the place to come.
Well, that's a sign of a great show, that you get the networking opportunities. You get to see a face behind someone you may only talk to by phone or by email or by texting nowadays.
Right.
So that personal contact is just, it's why there are 120 exhibitors here. They want to make that contact with farmers and others in the industry.
And I hope that excuse me, I keep talking over you.
And it's like the commissioner said, there's 3 things that people will receive when they come. Education, we've talked about some of that. The connections, which is so key. The who's who of agribusiness and agriculture are here at this show. And then the other one is innovation. There's a lot to see, and ag is so far ahead of so many other industries. We don't have cars and trucks driving themselves like we do tractors, and they're all sitting here on the lot, and a lot of neat things that people can see.
Well, and that reminds me, and before we go, because I know that both of you guys have to get on another stage and open the program, but in terms of the Department of Agriculture and your connections with the other state agencies, it almost seems like there are fingers out to each one of the other state agencies.
Well,
Commerce?
With Commerce, we're working to attract agribusiness investments to South Carolina. With PRT, we're working on agritourism. With the with DHEC, we work that the permitting process involving food production is as streamlined as possible. We've talked about our work with Clemson in the regulatory piece. The whole
Department
thing,
of Natural Resources.
DNR, but the folks of South Carolina who pay to operate state government expect teamwork. We'll go back to the team analogy, but they expect it. And I think in the Department of Agriculture, we've made it an emphasis to work with others and just make the sum of the parts better than things we can do by ourselves.
Well, you're doing a tremendous job. I love the Certified South Carolina.
Thank you.
And love the Ag Expo, and so pleased to be here. Thank you for having us.